All right, this is the Mimicast. I'm Mia.
I'm Milesh.
And I'm the weeb across the street yet again, Matt.
Matt's back. Today,
That didn't
what are
sound
we
very
going to talk about?
So right now we're actually going to be talking about the fall seasonal anime that we were watching. So we're about 3 weeks into the season, so we're going to actually discuss what we're watching. So Mia, why not start us off with...
Well, actually, I'm not actually watching this, so you're going to be talking about this. It's Sword Art Online Alicization.
Yep, that's not a word.
What does that mean? Can you explain that word, please?
So this season's actually pretty hype for Sword Art Online fans because this a lot of people consider like the best series or arc in the show and novel. This is actually going to be like 52 episodes, which still kind of blows my mind because the first episode is actually like 40 minutes. And just watching it, you can kind of tell it's a little bit different from other Sword Art Online series just because Kirito is going to like this new world, and this new world has like AI that's like way more realistic. You don't actually like feel like you're in a game. You actually feel like you're in a real, like you're a part of like a fantasy world, like legitimately part of a fantasy world. And the kind of thing about this series as a whole, it's about AI like developing like actual like sort of human emotions and like how do you deal with that. And it's kind of interesting so far from I've watched of it. I've enjoyed it, and I'm curious to see like what's going to happen, especially because I'm not sure how it's going to be 52 episodes yet. That's the one thing I'm kind of confused about, but I guess we'll see as we move on. So the next show we have is actually something Mia's on.
wait, so is this like something you recommend people to watch?
If you've seen the first two, yes. If you haven't, don't watch
What
it.
if like you don't even like it?
Then don't
Then
watch
don't
it.
watch it.
Yes.
Like it won't convert anybody.
If you
to
don't like
it now.
SAO, don't watch the third season of SAO.
Okay.
That makes sense, right? If you make sound it out
You know,
loud.
like what if they like wanted to really like it?
Exactly why I'm not watching it.
Yeah, I'm not watching it either.
What'd you say?
I was saying if they like wanted to try to get into it, like, but they didn't like the first two seasons.
They don't watch it. It's the same characters. Like, it's
Yeah,
not gonna, like,
true.
obviously the themes are different, but it's like, if you didn't like it the first two times, you're probably not gonna like it the third time.
Okay, so yeah, we'll move on to Iroduku, The World in Color. This one is kind of interesting, I guess. It's definitely kind of pretty. So, but it's about this girl who apparently can't see color.
Mm-hmm.
But then her grandma takes her to the past to, I don't know, try to get her to see color somehow. I don't know. It's kind of confusing for me, but there's magic and witches involved. Like,
Sounds like that one Jake Paul video.
like apparently, apparently there's like, she's like from a witch family or something.
So Kiki's Delivery Service.
Sure. I don't know. It's just really weird. I've heard people say it has like Violet Evergarden vibes, only because of its presentation. It's like really pretty, and it's trying to pull you in with these like great music and stuff. And seems like it could be an emotional thing. I don't know. Anyway, it's just I don't think it's the most interesting thing ever, so I think I'm gonna drop it. I saw like 2 episodes.
Mia is what we call
2.5
a hater.
episodes. I'm not a hater, but I'm kind of harsh. I'm kind of a critic when it comes to shows.
Hater.
All right.
I plan on watching this show. I just haven't gotten around to watching it, so probably,
Yeah, I wish you did because I think you would have more things to say about
because
it.
I like shows. I actually like anime as a medium, and unlike Mia, who
Oh my
doesn't,
gosh, are you kidding
it's
me?
fine, you know, just hating on shows every time.
Are you serious? All right.
Yes.
So, but it's like I'm also kind of interested because it seems like there's going to be a romantic plot going
Dude,
on.
then
And
watch
I'm,
more
I'm
of
all
it.
in. I'm all in for like romance, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if it's pulling me in enough. I'm like, do I want to really take this like extra 20 minutes out of my week to watch this? Is it necessary? You know, I can be doing other stuff. There's lots of stuff I could be doing.
All right.
Next topic is Skullface bookseller Honda-san.
Yeah, that's the show I'm actually watching.
I'm watching it too. Well, I was.
What is that? What does that mean? You was watching
Go ahead.
it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've seen the first 2 episodes that have come out. Episode 3 came out today. Unfortunately, I have not watched it yet. But it's a short anime, so only 12 minutes, and it's this kind of weird tale about this skull man that is working at a bookstore. The title is quite literal in that sense.
Yeah.
And
It is what it says.
a very interesting way of presenting it, because I really like workplace anime as a whole, and this is kind of an interesting take on it, where you actually learn a lot about how a bookstore runs in Japan, and like like the second episode focuses a lot on like them getting new shipments and like how they have like different managers for each section, which makes them trying to like fill it up. The show is a comedy though, so like the first episode is like basically about Fujoshis and like how they're, Fujoshis.
That's what it's about. I knew the first episode was like that. I didn't know that's what it continues.
Oh, not like the second episode, like I said, focuses more on the employers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But the first episode's pretty wacky, and it's like a pretty funny show. I liked it from what I've seen the past 2 episodes, and I think it's only like 12 minutes, so it keeps your attention for that. Like it has like kind of like skits, so it's like 6 minutes for one skit and 6 minutes for the last skit, and they do a generally good job of making it kind of pace fast and pretty funny.
Yeah, so I'm watching it too, and my thoughts on it are, yeah, it's funny. I'm actually getting laughs, especially like just the skull face dude. He's really funny. His reactions are funny. Every time he like asks for something, it's so dramatic.
The funniest thing is like no one cares he's like a skull man.
Yeah, he's just there. Well, everybody that works there, they wear like somebody has a bag on their head. Everybody's kind of
everyone's wearing like masks and stuff like that.
It's a strange thing.
Well, yeah, it's very strange, but it works.
But it's still funny. Like it's a nice short thing, like a nice, I guess, pick me up a little bit. You could just. Is it a Wednesday show? Is it one of those?
I just said the episode came out today, Mia. Can
today?
You pay attention to when I'm talking? So
listen, I just missed that part. I was listening to you, but I just missed that one part. Okay.
Yes, it comes on Sundays at 1.
Sundays? I guess it's a good Sunday show.
Yeah, it's a lazy Sunday kind of show.
Yeah, that fits. Yeah, I like the first episode, and I appreciate its realistic portrayal of Fujoshi. I was like, I could see this happening. Everything that happened in that episode, I'm like, yeah, this probably really did happen, and this is like based on a true story. So, the second episode.
Oh yeah,
is when I started. What?
Wait, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, like, I was debating dropping it, and like, it's a manga, right?
Yes.
I was thinking about reading it instead.
Oh.
Because I feel like I might like it better that way.
I actually learned that. I didn't know the manga and show are actually based on the guy Honda. He actually worked at a bookstore.
Okay.
So it's actually about his experiences at a bookstore.
Okay, so that makes sense.
It's actually pretty interesting.
So he really met these girls.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
That's funny. Okay. I knew it had to be. It was too, like, I don't know.
On the dot?
Yeah. So, I guess that's all I have to say about that. It's really funny. If you like comedy, you'll probably like it. Oh, and I recognize the Skullface voice actor.
Yeah, he's me.
What? No, the voice actor.
Yeah, me.
Alright, moving on. What you watching?
So the next show is my Yuri show that I love called Bloom Into You. So I watched the first episode, and most Yuri shows that you encounter are very aggressive into the Yuri relationship. And this show's kind of the opposite, where I'm pretty sure it's trying to portray a more like realistic portrayal of one, which already kind of has my interest. The first episode, the couple of things that caught my attention were like the soundtrack was like really good for it. It did a good job of like mixing in these classical tunes and really making you feel like the show is creating an atmosphere for itself. And the whole kind of like situation in terms of how the main girl and the girl that's her romantic partner kind of are getting together is fascinating, because the main girl doesn't actually want. So the first episode, the main girl is debating. A guy asked her out at her middle school graduation, and she told the guy, "I don't know what to say to you, so give me a month." So she like waits an entire summer before giving an answer, and she doesn't know like how to say it because she doesn't feel romantic feelings for dudes most of the time, and she's never felt like she's loved anybody. And then she meets like the student council soon-to-be president, and they both are in similar situations where people ask them out, but they don't feel like attraction to anybody. But the student council president starts really getting attracted to the main girl because she's like, wow, you're kind of like me, and have similar interests, and they get along really well. And so it's fascinating seeing how these two are, how the main person that's interested is like the other partner, like the older one, than the main character. So I think it's been an interesting Yuri show, and I'm curious to see like how it'll go. It's definitely better than like Citrus, if you want a comparison to it so far. But I was pleasantly surprised by like the production value. The art style too is kind of unique. It's not the best, but like I said, it does do like interesting like first person perspectives every now and then, and the music itself is pretty good. So I was, like I said, pretty happy with how the show turned out, and I'm excited to watch more of it.
Cool. So, well, I'm just gonna try to incorporate you, Matt. Do you think you'd pick up any of these so far?
Oh.
Sound interesting to you at all?
Say no. Because I know what Matt likes.
Yes, because anime is bad. But, Bloomington sounds pretty interesting. I might get into that.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah.
Like, are you being serious?
Yes, I'm being straight up serious. I might watch like a couple episodes of Sword Art Online, Fake Word.
Why would
as
you
well.
do that?
Fake word.
Because like I didn't think that like the first two. I watched both of the original two series, and I didn't think they were like bad by any chance. They were just like about average.
They're like mediocre.
Yeah, it's a bad rap. But
there's like some parts that are good because like the second season, the last arc is like pretty good actually.
yeah,
And Gun itself isn't that bad.
the fight scenes are well animated, which is nice. So I'll give it a shot. I'll watch a couple episodes.
All right.
Beautiful.
So that's
Yeah.
all you gotta say with it.
That's all I have to
All
say.
right, and then I'm watching. Well, okay, this is like next is Dakaichi. I'm being harassed by the sexiest man of the year. It's as bad as it sounds. It's something I really shouldn't be watching. I should be dropping this, but it's kind of like a guilty pleasure type thing, I guess, because it's just like regular like yaoi stuff. Yeah, it's because it's got a really terrible plot because it's like you have like the sexiest man of the year, and he becomes the second best, and the other guy who becomes the first best like kind of falls in love with him, but like in an obsessive way, and I don't know, he kind of forces him into a relationship, and I'm like, that's not good.
Or is it?
It's really weird, how it even goes down, but at the same time, I'm like curious. I'm like, yeah, the guy's really pretty, so it's like, yeah. But just if you're a fujoshi, yeah, go for it. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. It's like not worth watching at all for any other reason. So, yeah. Next we have something that Matt watched. What is that?
Oh, it's Goblin Slayer.
Haha.
Are you caught up?
Yeah, I'm on episode 3.
Beautiful.
I like it so far. I like how the protagonist is kind of like he seems like a very like self-insert, like not really self-insert, but he's like your typical like not. It's really hard to describe. He's kind of like someone's character that they made in like a D&D game, and they like gave him a role, and he's very very like dedicated to that role, and it's interesting watching that because you don't really see that in a lot of like isekai main characters. They're very like wishy-washy. They do whatever.
Well, this is an isekai.
Is
Yeah,
it?
technically,
Well,
no.
oh, what is it then?
It's a fantasy show.
It feels like
It's
when Dope
straight up
doesn't it?
fantasy.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
it? No.
No, because me is a hater. As usual, like, don't listen to me.
No,
as a
I am
fan.
a hater of this.
Yeah, she hates
like,
shows.
though.
Like,
Oh, okay.
No, not all of all right.
Well, then yeah,
Whatever.
he's very dedicated to his role. I don't know. I relate to that.
you watch episode 3, right?
Yeah.
They gave him, or episode 2, that was his backstory.
Yeah, it was his backstory.
So how was it? How did you think it was isekai?
Huh.
I was like, he had backstory in episode 2. We literally see why
That's
he wants
true.
to slay
Yeah.
goblins.
His sister died. Whoops.
Yeah, so if you know what Goblin Slayer is about, the name kind of, again, quite literal.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Quite
in
literal.
this.
Happens in the first episode.
Yeah, so pretty much in this series, the main character, his name is Goblin Slayer, and what he's known for is, you guessed it, killing goblins. So he's very obsessed with killing them because goblins pretty much destroyed his village, raped his sister, all that stuff. And so he's become this kind of like infamous person in the guild where he only attacks goblins, but he's obviously this very smart, intelligent, and like strong person. And so far, I've liked it too because, unlike a isekai, so like fantasy and anime has been kind of weird. Isekai is
I agree. Yeah.
Isekai has made fantasy a weird genre because the main character is always from another world.
Yeah, that's why I got it confused. Just because like most fantasy animes that have been coming out have been isekais.
Yeah.
So I just thought like the fantasy term was just kind of absorbed into
Yeah.
isekai.
Yeah, so like you can tell like how fantasy shows like isekais are much more toned down and appropriate for like the anime like target audience.
And gamers.
But like this show is more like Berserk, where they're fantasy shows and they have very dark themes, and the characters themselves are much more the strong silent type.
But it's
Yeah.
nothing compared to Berserk.
Well, yes, because Berserk is literally a masterpiece, Mia. So yes, you're right. It's not the best anime of all
Just
time.
wanted to throw
Gee,
that out.
I wonder. Okay.
Just want to throw that out there.
So, Goblin Slayer itself, I've liked it. What I've seen, I liked episode 3 because he gets more companions, and I like their dynamic they have with all of them. And kind of like what I've heard from the manga and light novels too is like all these characters are trying to make the Goblin Slayer into a more developed character. Because the way he is right now, he's a literal psychopath who only kills goblins, and that's all he cares about.
That's all he cares about. That's all he wants to do. And people are trying to like spread him out. Like, hey, why don't you try other things? You might like enjoy like hunting other things. He's like, no.
Yeah.
No. These goblins gotta die.
So I do think it's an interesting like psychological thing too, with the main character being so hard-headed, and I'm curious to see like how these characters will like break him out of his shell in a sense. But so far, it's been pretty decent. Like I said, me as a hater, so I don't really listen to their opinions on anything.
Shut up.
But Maya and Match are good.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not gonna watch it. Like, I saw the first episode, but I was just like not into it. So, yeah, I don't really want to because I'm already not too keen on isekai fantasy or like both of those.
It's only one of those.
I know, right? But they both tend to be. They just tend to be similar. These days, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Akashi no Yona is a strict fantasy show. Yeah. It's different from any isekai fantasy show.
Okay. Well, stuff that are isekai like.
Like what?
Like this show.
This show is not okay.
I can see why you think that.
Come on.
It's got like the art style.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The vibes,
I know it's not just me.
And the guilds, yeah, that gives it that vibe. But
anyway,
I think some of it's for me is like I don't watch isekai anymore. So I'm so detached from it where it's like...
See, I don't watch it, but I'm just like, from the outside, this is what I'm absorbing, and this is what I've seen. But...
Well, okay, whatever. Shut up, Anthony.
What do you say?
Our producer, Anthony, made a comment like, aren't I watching SAO? The answer is yes, I am.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just like that whole vibe is like not... Like, I even tried, I'll just mention this because I forgot to even write it down. The time I got reincarnated as a slime, that thing. I've been hearing stuff about
That's
it.
That's isekai.
It sounds terrible.
I saw some clips of that. It's really funny.
Yeah,
what I've
right.
seen.
And I'm hearing people enjoy it, and it's like I watched like about half of it with my little brother because and it's good production. Like you'll be shocked if you haven't seen it. I'm like there's really good production behind it.
I saw the clip with the dragon and like it was really well animated.
Yeah, I see all this potential going for it, but for me personally, I'm not into it. I got bored. Like the dude became the slime thing, and I started zoning out, and I was like, "Man, this is probably good, but it's not for me." So, it's kind of like that with Goblin Slayer too. I'm like, I can see why people enjoy it, but it's like I don't really want to watch it.
You can appreciate it, Mia. I appreciate your opinions every now and then.
Okay.
He appreciates your honesty.
And I have to be honest, you know. So we want to move on to the next one?
Yep, so I'm watching Ace Attorney Season 2. There's a whole lot to say about it. It's pretty much it's adapting the third game, and I think it might adapt the fourth game, because it's actually 24 episodes.
Jeez.
So I really hope they're not going to make the entire third game 24 episodes, because then I would shoot myself. So I really hope the second half of the show is going to be different. But again, the third game is a lot of people's favorite.
This is poor anime watching choices.
As I said before in this podcast, Mia is a hater, so do not listen to her opinions. But like I said, Ace Attorney Season 2, if you thought Season 1 was okay, Season 2 is also okay. I like watching it because I do like seeing these characters like animated and come to life. And while I wish it was a little bit better, I've enjoyed it for what it is. There's not a whole lot I will say about it beyond that, Mia.
That's it. Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought it'd be short. Alright, so next one. This one, oh my gosh, has the worst title ever. It's called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
You don't watch this
And
show.
I cannot stand this title, not only because it's just bad, but because it does not do the show justice. The show itself isn't even bad. Like, I wouldn't have picked it up unless I was on YouTube and I saw, like, recommendation for it. That's the only reason I wouldn't even, like, bothered. Like, because looking at the title, looking at the poster art for it, this looks like some fan service type of like trashy show, but it's not at all. It like surprised me completely whenever I watched it. It's a romance type of thing, and it's gonna be hard to explain because I'm not good at explaining stuff at all.
Oh, you got it.
But it's like It has to do with this girl who's going through this type of syndrome thing where nobody's noticing her. And it's like, I think it's called adolescence syndrome, something like that. And so like the main protagonist dude, there's like this guy and this girl, and the guy sees this girl in the library in a bunny costume, and she's wearing it just because nobody pays attention to her because of this weird syndrome. But he's like the only person who does notice her. So because he does notice her, that's how they connect. And I don't want to like give away too much, but it's like he makes it his goal to help her out. And so we learn more about like this girl, like she's actually like a famous person. So that makes it even weirder that nobody notices her. Like they literally, like she could like walk in front of your face, like stand in front of you, and you won't see her.
But she's famous.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, and you have to watch the show to quite get it. But yeah, it's so sad that it has a title this bad. Like, honestly, because it's actually good so far. I watched like 3 episodes, and it's like, oh man, yeah, it's already got like kind of gets you a little bit emotionally in the span of only 3 episodes. Like a lot is happening already, and I like seeing they have a very realistic and authentic romantic relationship building. So that's also really cool. You don't see it that realistic in anime. So if you, I don't know, I recommend everybody just give it a shot. Honestly, especially if you like romance, though, it's pretty interesting. There's like a reason for the syndrome too that gets explained also. Like they go in depth about that. So yeah, I guess that's all I got for that. Yeah. What's this, Milesh?
I know what this show is. It's Double Decker, Doug of Krill. So the reason this show caught my interest is because I'm a huge Tiger and Bunny fan, and so a couple months ago they announced like a season 2 for it. But then it turns out the season 2 was actually this. And this isn't really a season 2 for Tiger and Bunny. The fans of the show are kind of speculating this is actually like a prequel to the show, which makes more sense than it being a sequel to it. So Double Decker is kind of its own special like investigation for the police. Pretty much in this world, people can take this thing called a drug, this like illegal drug, and this drug will make you into kind of like a mutant that has like special powers. And so these guys are responsible for these cases because they have like the weaponry and everything at hand to handle it. So Double Decker refers to like the system in the crime department where everyone's partnered up with one other person. So this show has been pretty fun so far. It doesn't have a big following yet, but it's this kind of like fun pseudo crime investigation, pseudo superhero show. And I really enjoyed this because it does remind me a little bit of Tiger and Bunny. If you like Tiger and Bunny, you may not like this show because they are different. But overall, it's been pretty fun. The characters themselves are pretty wacky. It's a lot more eccentric, and the characters are a lot more hilarious than I thought they'd be originally. So it's been a pretty fun show. Like I said, it's kind of an interesting recommendation to people because it is so weird in a way, like if you were to watch it. But I've enjoyed my time with it so far.
Would you say you need to watch Tiger and Bunny before you watch this?
No. Like, I've seen Tiger and Bunny. There's, like, nothing. I'm like, oh, wow, this character. There is, like, one character that is from Tiger and Bunny that is in this show, but she's, like, a reporter character, so she doesn't, like, it won't matter. But, yeah. You should watch Tiger and Bunny, though. That show is, like, legit good.
Yeah, I'll think about watching it.
I shed a tear every time I think about that show.
Oh, you like it that much?
It was like one of the first anime I watched when I was getting into it.
Oh, for real?
And
I didn't even hear about it until like last
it has like
year.
a special place in my heart for that reason.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. How about you, Mia? What is this Radiant show?
Radiant, based off of a French manga.
That's not Japan.
No, it's not.
Wait.
Japan decided to adapt it.
Wait, French can have mangoes?
Apparently they can.
Isn't that just called a French cartoon at that point?
Well, I mean, you could call it a comic, right? But the anime is Japanese made.
Are we sure it's Japanese made?
Yes.
I'm sure some Koreans and Chinamen have touched.
All right, yeah, but so is every anime, right?
Yes.
So it still classifies. Stop it, Lish. Stop. Anyway, so it's a shonen, and I'm picking it up. I picked it up because I'm really curious, just because it was made in France or whatever. And it's kind of a topic of conversation amongst some of my people. So
Not us.
But how do you like
no,
it?
not
so
you
far?
guys, but
But how do you like it so
yeah.
far?
So it's like I have mixed feelings about it.
Because the Frenchman wrote it, right?
It's like a ripoff of Black Clover.
Right. So that's that's one of the things I've heard about it, right? Because it starts off very like, I don't know, you just got this typical protagonist, shonen boy, and then you got, I don't know, magic is like their way of fighting and stuff. They're like, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called. I should have.
Are they in like a guild?
I should have
Are
researched
they called
this.
Radiants?
No, Radiant is a place.
Doubt it.
Infected?
It is a place. Infected, is that what they're called? Infected is something to do with like having contact with
Japanese.
Nemesis, which is like the overarching like bad stuff.
Yes.
Monsters and stuff, that's Nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
And people that have contact with that, they become like these magic people.
Yeah, they're wizards, but they're called infected in that world.
Yeah, and they have like stigma against them. Like people in the city don't like these people. They're like, oh no, they're bad people. We associate with them. We're also gonna get infected and stuff like that. So, this dude. Let me see. The first 2 episodes were like, and then the 3rd episode was good. I liked it because we got backstory about an important like character, which is like the main guy's caretaker. So that was really interesting. And I think my problem is I'm so detached from this main dude right now because I don't know anything. I hardly know anything about him. It's like I don't have a reason to root for him very much, or like him that much. I mean, I guess I feel kind of bad because people hate them, but that's about it, you know. But I have nothing to attach myself to right now.
It's like you can't relate to the character.
At the moment now, yeah. And he seems really, really young. But
So I think that
I just needed. I'm just kind of keeping tabs on it to see where it goes. I needed to progress more. I think you know, maybe after it sets up a bit more, it'll be better. But yeah, so his main journey, like he's trying to go to Radiant because he wants to destroy all of Nemesis so that people don't think bad of them anymore.
It's like X-Men.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Bet.
All right. Are you planning? You're not gonna pick it up?
Nope.
Nah.
No interest at all.
None.
No.
Ah,
I could
okay.
care less about this show.
I've
Dang,
watched
man.
like 1 episode just to laugh at how similar it is to Black Clover, maybe.
Oh really? I
Maybe.
haven't seen enough of Black Clover to be like,
Black
this
Clover
is
is
like the
actually
same.
good.
What?
Nothing.
Do you really think that?
People think that.
Yeah, they got really good
I don't know.
stories.
I'm not gonna watch that. I'm already like 7.
I would actually read the manga because I know the manga.
I might because I have heard that.
Because if I were to get back into it, I'd
Seem
actually read the
better.
manga.
I tend to have an issue with just wanting to watch like bad shows just to get a good laugh and end up actually like somewhat enjoying it.
You're describing our friend Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so, like, Radiant, yeah, I don't know. I was really interested when I read the 3rd episode happened because of the backstory.
When I give it the
That's actually
Mimicast, pass.
Pass?
Pass.
Pass, like, bad pass or good pass?
What good pass
Fast
is?
pass.
Fast pass. We'll give it the question mark. We'll go with the pass question mark.
Pass question.
Yeah. So pass
What does that mean? Yeah.
is a show that you might want to pass, but if you're Mia, you don't want to pass.
If you're me, no, I mean I could pass it. I'm only keeping tabs on it because it's a topic of conversation. So.
See, Mia only watches shows that she thinks are popular.
Sometimes, no, it's like it's hard to explain because it's not. I don't know. I don't watch everything.
All right, let's talk about the next show because we both like it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I
Okay,
wanna
now
talk
you're
about
getting a
it.
little too into it now.
Sorry.
I might have to tone it down.
I gotta be calm. There's so much I gotta say
Oh, boy.
about this.
A show both of you are watching and I'm not watching.
That's-
Guess I gotta watch it.
So it's called Run with the Wind. It's a sports anime from Production IG. So people already had.
But wait, it's a sane in the sports.
Okay, well.
It's important.
Yeah, so these kids are actually in college, and one of the things I thought was interesting about it is it's not
Everything.
like it's a very different sports anime because A, they're not in high school. B, the main character isn't joining a club that's already oh, I guess he kind of is, but
And not even by his will though.
yeah. So pretty much in this college they have a dorm, and the dorm there are 9 people living inside. The main character gets roped into joining the house, and he becomes the 10th person. And it turns out this dorm was all this time actually the jogging team's dorm.
And everybody that stayed there had no idea. Even the guy who's been there for like years.
Yes.
It's like this old.
Only
older
one
dude.
guy knew about it because he was actually a jogger and he was interested in reviving the team.
He purposely didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, he basically just lured all these kids
He
in.
fooled them into joining his track team.
Yeah, so it's already pretty different because of that. And so far from what I've seen of it, I really liked it just because it is so different.
Yeah.
And like, it has a pretty interesting potential. I do kind of like, my only worry about the show is like, I hope, in theory, these guys should not be able to win anything because these guys are fresh off the boat. They literally have never jogged in their life besides 2 characters. So it'd be kind of weird if they're already competing for championships that like teams have trained their entire lives for. That's my only actual worry about the show because because I actually like sports in real life, and in sports in real life, like stuff like that never happens. So I think I always think it's a little weird in anime when it happens. So I'm like, well, in my head, this shouldn't have happened. But
yes, but
you were able to enjoy stuff like Prince of Tennis and Kuroko no
Prince of
Basket.
Tennis, those are different because those.
All those crazy things that aren't
Well,
real.
also
this
because
is giving that Ratatouille message. Anyone can jog.
yeah, because like in regular sports anime, most of the time the character that enters the team is either the main character is already pretty good, like Prince of Tennis, or he's good, but he's the potential to become better, and his teammates are all like already at a decent starting level. Like there's no sports anime where a kid joins, he's never played the sport, and he's all of a sudden like the GOAT. You know what I mean? He's not like the greatest of all time right away.
I mean, to be fair, there are some of the members.
Days.
To be fair, though, some of the members have like potentials that
Oh,
is
like-
not from actually being joggers.
Yeah.
But we have like that one small country bumpkin kid. He like the
How he walked.
the guy pointed out how he walked a lot. Like he had to
Yeah.
walk long distances.
Yeah.
So that might help out.
I didn't know how the smoker.
There's, like, things like
the
that.
smoker guy used to jog.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Apparently that
funny.
happened. And he smokes.
The law guy, he's into
like-
law.
What is that? Doesn't. Well, let me get into like what I want to talk about is like the characterization in this is so good. Like it's kind of overwhelming at first.
Because you get introduced to like 10 characters.
There's the cat, yeah. They're throwing the whole cast at you. I mean, not at one time, but like kind of like all in the first episode, one after another. They're throwing the whole cast towards you, so you gotta pay attention. Or like me, like you can't. I was trying to like I think multitask or something, and you miss 2 seconds, you miss a lot. Like don't do that. So. But I just like in those like few seconds that you meet each character, you know what they're about, basically, and it's like they're all very diverse and
They're all pretty neat.
yeah, they're really interesting. Probably one of my favorites right now is we have your otaku guy.
Yeah.
His name is Prince. Also, like that's his nickname or whatever, Prince. He's like the pretty boy, but also an otaku, and I cannot wait to see. We saw a little bit of it in the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Of him trying to like jog, but it's like as soon as I saw him and I found out this was gonna be like him running, I was like I cannot wait to see him try to keep up with everybody and just completely fail at it because he has 0 athletic bones in his body.
Yeah.
Like he's probably gonna be their weakest link. He's just a shut-in.
Yeah, he's what we call the mad of the group.
Yeah. But so the production on this show is amazing. It's kind of insane.
You sound like you about to cry right there.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
The show, like, production ID always does a good job of animating, and their art style is always consistent.
It's very similar to Haikyuu.
And which is also very similar to Kuroko no Basketball.
Kinda.
Well, yeah.
I don't really see... It's, like, not as strong a semblance.
They're not as, like... Well, if you look at, like...
Like, even character design, the style of the characters in Run with the Wind is very similar to Haikyuu. Like, doesn't the main guy look like Kageyama?
Yes.
Like, I can't look at him and not think of Kageyama.
Yeah, so
What's his name?
Yeah.
And, yeah. And, like, the first episode, I loved the opening.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, they open with, like, running. It's, like, a cinematic, like, you see this in a movie. It looks like, it's like you're about to watch a movie.
Yeah.
That's how cool and dramatic it is. And, like, but good.
Yeah, so I'd
And
say...
the music is awesome.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of it. It definitely, like, pleasantly surprised me. And
I'm looking forward to maybe pick it up.
oh, look at you, Matthew.
You should.
You like sports anime?
Dude, the music is so good.
Yeah.
I just want to... I love how good the music
What
is.
sports
and it
anime have you
fits so well.
watched?
I think like Prince of Tennis way back when.
That's my dog right
Yeah.
there. Okay,
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
if you recall, viewers, my second favorite anime is Prince of Tennis.
Oh, and the opening song is great. It's by that one band that did the Kick-Ai Sensen ending that everybody loves.
Beautiful. Let's talk about the actual best show of the season, which is JoJo's Part 5. Matthew.
I'm not watching it.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
I can't watch it yet.
Yeah, that's
am
its
catching
one.
up.
That's
I'm
its
in
one
part 4
problem.
now.
Arguably the most like the best show of the season.
It
However,
probably is.
however,
You have to watch
you have
four
to
other
watch-
parts.
You have to watch 4 other parts, which will total up like over 100 episodes
Yeah,
before you
it's
can
over.
get to
Yeah,
it.
because Part 1 and 2 are 24, Part 3 is 50 or 48,
Yeah,
and then Part 4 is 39.
yeah. So close to 100 episodes.
It totally is 100.
I think it's
At least.
Is it exact?
At the
I
least.
don't know.
It might be like exactly 100 though.
Math too hard.
That's too
Too
hard.
hard. I'm a history major.
Yeah, I'm on part 4. I'm getting there.
The best part.
Yeah, it's so good.
Let's talk about Part 5 though, Matt. What do you liked about it so far?
Well, so far, as soon as you start the thing off, well, in the second episode at least, you get such a good OP fighting gold.
Yes, it's so beautiful. And
And then it throws you for a loop with that ED. It's like what is
freaking
this?
you. I'm
Freaking
so
you.
horny.
The
Like
It's so funny. How this is-
ending, the ED's like a really hot topic.
It's the best.
like Iraqi horny on main. Like you can't do this.
But Part 5 takes place in Italy, birthplace of spaghetti. And this is pretty cool,
Birthplace
Part
of
5.
spaghetti.
Because a lot of people, when they describe Part 5 to people that haven't watched it, it's pretty much a better version of Part 3.
Now that's debatable, but I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
but
debates
people,
that?
Debatable.
But people will argue. People will argue.
How?
People will argue anything.
How would you
if
argue
say
that?
if you say that, then everything's debatable.
What would be the
Well,
argument
literally
against
everything.
it?
Just the aesthetic of
Oh.
the part. Like people love their buff boys. All of
Yeah.
the Part 5 dudes are the buff boys.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like Part 3, pretty much every episode is like, fight, 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 fight,
Yeah.
fight, fight.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And the thing that they've only shown 3 episodes so far, and it's been pretty paced evenly. It's only gonna be 39 episodes, which I think is appropriate for it. And
How many? 30?
39.
39?
So the same as Part 4. I will be curious to see like if they do any like anime original stuff, because in Part 4 they actually like switched some of the chapters how they got adapted around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see if they do anything for Part 5, which I actually read Part 5, and I don't know. There's only one thing I feel like they could do that actually like a drastic change to it that me and Matt talked about before.
Yeah.
But-
like the one arc at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we don't know. I wouldn't want it to happen because I think that would detract from it a little bit.
Yeah.
Overall, like if you liked all of JoJo's, you're gonna like Part 5. There's no way you're not gonna like it. The animation's still really good. The art style for it is different from Part 4, which kind of had more of like a simplistic art style.
It's like a good fusion between Part 4's style, where it had like they had softer faces,
Yeah.
and like Part 1 and 2 style, where they had like the really defined like edges around like their face and cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, so it's a nice little blend of it. And I really think it looks really pretty, and I'm really excited to watch more of it because it's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Part 5 is like my 3rd favorite part.
It's also the most popular part in Japan
Yeah,
by like polls and
Oh, wow.
stuff.
it's more popular than Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is Part 3 too?
I have no idea.
It probably is. I know Donald knows. Our resident JoJo's expert Donald, who is not here,
Yes.
does know that.
And resident Berserk expert Donald.
Yes. And almost One Piece expert. That's me though. You have anything else to say about it, kid?
No, good show. Definitely recommend, but you have to watch the other parts first.
Unless you're a weirdo.
Yeah, it's
Because in
not.
theory, you could watch Part 5. Like, this is the part you could watch without seeing the others.
No, because they have the whole like
Oh.
Dio and like
Yeah, but like... Anyway,
yeah.
in theory, you could.
Mm,
You feel like you watch Part 4 without watching the
it'll
other
just
parts?
be confusing to watch.
I like
in a
throwing in
vacuum.
the heads
The
up.
beginning will be confusing, but beyond that, you'll be pretty all right.
Yeah.
I like throwing in the heads up that it can be a bit tough to get through part 1.
Because
Because I know so many people. It's like ridiculous. I thought it was just me. But I also like watching part 1. I dropped it for for months because I wasn't interested enough. And then
Then you watch the 6 episodes. You're like, oh, it's only 6 episodes.
I didn't even know.
I feel like
no,
people,
it's 9. It's like 9 episodes.
Yeah, I feel like people knew like how long it is because it's not
Yeah,
long.
I didn't know how long it was,
And
so
then
I was like, "This is what I'm watching," and I wasn't into it.
And then you get to watch everyone's favorite part.
Yeah, so it's only 9 episodes. That's all you have to get through, and then it's good. It's a nice ride the rest of
and
the
part
way.
2 is like incredible.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love part 2 so much.
And part 3 is like,
I still like that too, but I noticed like there's actually a decrease in volume, and I was not okay with that. I was like, it got less flashy and like loud.
part 3 in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Part 3 is like the most memorable part, like for a lot of people. But
Mainly because
No, I love the squad though.
yeah,
Yeah.
the squad. You know, the squad in part 5 better.
it is better. Not as memorable though, for most people. But yeah,
Dude, Mista's
it's
my
better.
dog. Mista is literally the homie, bro.
All right, so
All right.
now we talked about that. Next is Zombieland Saga. Are you watching this?
I am watching this.
You want to talk about it?
It's really cute.
How many episodes did you watch?
All 3 so far.
Okay, talk about it. Yeah, let's go.
So there's this girl, right? And she wakes up and she really likes idols, and she's like, I can't wait to do whatever. And then she
She's
walks
like going to
outside.
like an audition for an
Yeah,
idol thing.
and then she gets run over and she dies. And normally that'd be the ending for, most anime.
Right.
But turns out she gets revived as a zombie girl. And there's this weird dude whose origins haven't been explained. And he's gathering a bunch of like famous dead girl idol people. And he's trying to make his own zombie idol group. And yeah, it sounds pretty bizarre and it's pretty great.
Right, and it's funny because nobody knew this coming into it.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see the trailers before it aired?
I did not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's the funniest thing ever. They set you up. They show you this like this awesome, cool, badass like trailer. We're like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be zombies. There's gonna be a bunch of blood. This is gonna be insane. Like it was just this whole like, and then the first episode, everybody's like, what? I wasn't expecting this. Nobody who saw that trailer was expecting this. That was the great thing about it.
My favorite performance so far was the one in the second episode where they
Yeah.
it was like a free form like rap battle that
That was
like
good.
no one like
That was
anticipated. And they're like the one girl who like didn't recover her like consciousness yet, like her head was just rolling around and people were like, that's such a cool effect.
They're like, oh yeah, magic trick. haha. It was too good. Oh my gosh, yeah, the manager dude is hilarious. I am watching this show mostly for him because he's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good.
I like the part when what was that one girl and she's like, well, how many people are there exactly in the region? And he's like, not much. And she's like, no, give me a number. He's like, if I knew a number, I would just Google it right now on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Stop asking questions. We're gonna perform soon.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
The
so
comedy's good.
yeah, the show's pretty wacky and funny, and it's been a really like cool treat to watch because the show was like announced like 2 months ago, so like no one really knew about the show. Everyone's really confused. Like the studio behind the show is called Studio Mappa, and they're kind of
There's like a lot of collaborations going on, isn't it?
I don't know,
It was like with multiple studios.
but like
So I was like, oh, this is gonna be big.
yeah, so like no one really had any idea what the show was going to be because it is also an anime original, and they announced it so. Because most of the time, fall animes announce like 2 or 3 seasons before it actually premieres. So Zombieland Saga broke that by being announced like 2 months ago.
It's very last minute.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even realize it.
and so everyone like I remember in the subreddit for anime, people were like, "What the fuck is this show?" And then because it was so mysterious,
Yeah.
and then when you watch the first episode, you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
and it all clicks." So I've also really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of like how this adventure goes.
I have a little complaint, which is with the third episode.
Was it the CG?
So I didn't like that, but that's not like my main complaint.
Okay.
That's just like oh great CG. Like, it's like we didn't really want this, but I'm like it's an idol show. I guess what did I expect?
Yeah, see,
But I've
Love
seen
Live
better
has CG.
idol CG. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Anyway, though, it's like I don't know. I wasn't as engaged in the third episode because it became just like here we have these little girls.
It was a little
just
more
being little
serious,
girls and
but I think it was more needed for like their character development.
Probably.
Together. And I like the part where
I was just like more interested in like the past episode, like the girls trying to escape.
yeah,
Like, like that was just more interesting than these girls just like lollygagging and like trying to come up with a name.
you tell me you didn't enjoy the part where they got on the was it the Ferris wheel? Not the Ferris wheel, but like the
Or I was mostly
The-
bugged by that little lolly girl. Oh my gosh, she got on my
yeah.
nerves. I'm like, shut up.
I like when the manager got serious though. He had that little talk and he's like, "All right, be a zombie, just rot for all I care." Yeah. When she didn't want to like cooperate and like perform with the other girls.
I like though when he like they performed and then like he left. He's like, all right, let's go, go, and he like drove the car off.
Oh yeah,
in, like,
yeah.
the stupidest way possible.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, props to the voice actor. We know that guy. We all know that guy. The dude that played Okabe in Steins Gate, Light and Death Note, all that good stuff. All kinds of stuff. So he's just a really good voice actor, and he's really like showing like how good he is with this role. I feel like he's just going all out.
All right, so I think that's enough we had to say about Zombieland Saga. So now we're going to actually segue into our next topic of conversation, which is going to be our favorite anime openings.
Yay!
So this is going to be kind of weird. We don't have much of like a structure to it,
No, not really.
but we're going to toss in some openings and just discuss them. So Matt, what do you got for us, baby?
Well, of course, shonen openings from like the first ever animes ever watched have like a huge impact on me. Like a select few Naruto openings and Naruto Shippuden
Like Fighting
openings.
Dreamers.
In
Fighting
particular-
Dreamers. in
You are my
particular.
friend.
Not
You
so much
you
that
love
one.
that one. Yeah, that's your favorite, right?
Totally. Some Bleach openings in there,
Like
especially
13.
like the second opening, 13
13 is
especially.
So
Milesh can attest to that.
it's so good. Yeah, Bleach
visuals,
openings are
the
fucking
music.
lit. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, Bleach has some really memorable ones that always like bring it back to me.
Bangers.
The real headbangers. And then I guess some like more modern openings that are really good. I love the like pretty much every Attack on Titan opening.
Yee.
Like even 4, like even though it's more mellow, like it's really like nice to listen to.
It's really peaceful.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
even listened to it yet.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I'm gonna.
Like those are also like really good headbangers. They're just so like when you listen to the full versions, it's like this is a masterpiece when you listen to it.
Man, opening 3 full version blows my mind. I'm like, shit. It's so beautiful.
Opening 3?
good.
Yeah, Sasageo.
Oh, that one.
Ah, it's so good.
But being the edgy boy I am, I also enjoy the really edgy OPs from not only like the past that I listen to,
Like
but
Death Note. Opening
Death
2.
Note OP 1 and 2.
Opening 1 is so beautiful.
I
And
know.
opening 2 makes you
Opening
want to
1.
die.
I love both. Opening one though for sure.
I feel like I'm the only kid that doesn't like the second opening.
I love that crap.
It's so stupid.
I love it. And then you got Tokyo Ghoul's OP.
Yeah.
Sing it.
Yeah.
Sing it.
Come on, let's go.
That gets me. It also it's a nice headbanger about in the midway point too.
The full song's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of going along with Matt. Like I'm a big shonen guy, so
Yeah,
like
shonen OPs always get me.
yeah, I
Shonen
really-
OPs are pretty good.
like all the
general.
One Piece openings are like really good. Like I like my favorite anime opening is probably like opening 14 of One Piece because like every time I watch it, I legit cry because it's so beautiful.
Are you really?
Yeah, because there's like a scene in the opening where they showcase like the backstories of all the Straw Hats, and it makes me shed a tear every time because something happened. Oh, it's gonna spoil, so I can't actually say it.
Okay.
But something happens, and it makes me shed a tear. I'm like, this is so beautiful. And One Piece openings are actually kind of interesting because they're longer than any other anime opening because they're actually 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
What?
So they have an extra minute. So a lot of the time, One Piece openings are like divided into like the crew doing stuff, and the other half is like the actual like canon stuff that's happening. And it's always pretty fun balance. And I always liked how they're just bangers, and
They better be bangers if they're that long.
especially because the 4 Kids opening too. Low-key,
Oh yeah.
it's low key
We're
amazing.
going there.
It's like high key
Yeah.
amazing actually if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It is though.
As for like other special mentions like Flow, they're like a popular band that does a lot of anime
Pretty
openings.
much every opening they do is
like
good. Right?
every opening they do is a banger. Like Naruto Shippuden opening 6, Code Geass the first opening, the R2
yes.
opening. They've done a lot of great fighting. They did Fighting Dreamers, bro. Like there's no way they can go wrong with these guys. And from there, I've also really like Lisa's another really popular singer, and she does a lot of like
the
opening.
Fate stuff.
Yeah, she does like
Yeah.
Fate Zero. She did the SAO openings. She's done some Nisekoi openings. She's done a lot of cool stuff, and all of her music I really enjoy too.
Mm-hmm.
I think anime openings in general are just a really good way to introduce you to a show because it does set the tone a lot of the time. Like, you watch the first Attack on Titan opening, you're like, oh, I know what kind of show this is going to be.
Yeah.
You're not confused.
Exactly.
And I think that's like the good thing about it. I think that's what makes any openings really special. And it kind of shows like for shonens as well, because you see like opening 6 of Bleach is a lot more mellower than like the third opening of Bleach.
Yeah, speaking of all like the mellower OPs, like the really jazzy OPs, like those, I really vibe with
Like
those.
Tank.
Oh yeah, like Tank from Cowboy Bebop, or like Bakuno's OP.
Bakuno's OP!
Oh, so good.
It's so wonderful.
We got Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town.
That's like my favorite JoJo's opening, low key.
Yeah, so jazzy, so good.
Yeah, all the JoJo's openings also
That was more like
amazing.
disco, you know.
Well,
It's more funk.
It's
but yeah.
funk, but yeah.
How so?
Funk.
Remember when Dio stopped the opening? I remember that.
Everyone remembers that.
That shit blew my mind. First time, I was like,
So cool.
did he just stop the opening?
That was that wasn't it the first like JoJo OP that did something like that?
Well, yeah, because like in part 1 and 2, what are they gonna do?
But I think it's
yeah,
cool.
you're right.
It's been consistent so far that at the last episode of every part, they add the sound effects to the opening.
Yeah, that's always cool.
It's so
too.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, because part 4's one's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, part 5 is gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed JoJo's openings, and this in general, I think anime openings are again just great.
yeah.
Right, Mia?
Yeah.
You haven't been talking about your favorite.
I
ones,
haven't
Mia.
because you guys were talking.
I know.
Couldn't,
Wow.
I couldn't really.
We've been hogging all the.
I mean, I do like one that you did mention was like the Attack on Titan opening 2. That's my
Opening
shit.
too. Yeah.
The way it starts off
'Cause
with
it's-
like the.
I just love it.
I think I got a guitar solo.
It starts off with like a nice like march like fanfare kind of thing.
Yes,
and then
that's what I.
it just
good.
It
And then, like,
turns
you
into
get a
good.
guitar
It's so
solo,
good.
and it says, this guy's just shredding the guitar.
It's so cool.
I love OPs where they just shred it up.
I don't know. Yeah, I like hype ones, but also like really pretty ones too. So like, there's Haikyuu opening 4 in particular. Actually, kind of like the 4th one and the 5th one a lot, but I think I like the 4th one more. Do you know what those sound like, Milesh? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
You can't even. Come on. I don't know. It's really great. I don't know. They should be. These are openings that are. The Haikyuu openings are really good in general, but the 4th and the 5th one, they really kind of went all out with those.
Yeah,
They just look so good too.
I will say this about anime openings: like, as I've gotten older and watched more shows, like some of the more recent shows, like I just don't remember the openings as much. Like, unless you're like Attack on Titan, that's like a really like cool opening, or like more popular shows, I'm gonna remember theirs. But like Haikyuu, I love Haikyuu. But
Yeah.
like, I swear to God, can't remember any of the openings.
No, that's understandable because the first 3 are especially kind of dull.
Yeah, because I do recall liking them. Like, I never disliked them. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Speaking
They're
of-
not horrible, but they're not amazing. But the 4th one in particular, I don't know, it just starts off with that bass thing. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like it makes me want to cry.
Speaking of like really good OPs, but that like, you can't like remember them, or like the Shokugeki openings.
Oh yeah, those are always pretty fun.
They're really good, really fun, but like I can't remember.
like as soon
any
as the
of them.
show's over, you're like, psh, they go
Hey,
away.
Where'd it go?
You remember that Aka opening, right? Tell me you remember that.
I remember that.
Milesh, come on, it was so good. All right.
I'm sure it was.
Not My Hero.
No.
Oh.
Most of my hero openings are not that good.
They're not. They're actually
They're not that hype. They make me sad. I'm like,
I like Peace Sign, but it's like I don't even love that much, you know, and that's like my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, and then I also like the
first two
the newer
are like
one.
the first two.
the
are
first
pretty
one's
good.
pretty decent.
Second one's I like.
like the
I like
first one
the
too.
like kind of the mellowness of the second one, but it's also pretty like upbeat too.
I just like the melody.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a good melody.
Yeah.
So our producer Anthony said to mention Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. That opening
Why?
apparently is fire, according to Anthony. Would you care to explain a
So
little
wait,
bit why?
no. So Your Lie in April also has a good opening that I really like. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a piano in it.
Can I add
Of
in
course
Power
there is.
Rangers
It's just
Turbo?
so like catchy. Like
Yeah.
this is the kind of opening that you haven't seen it in a long time. You're probably gonna see it and cry.
Yeah.
You know. How about Noragami? Both of the openings are really cool, but the
Like,
second
for
one in
season 1 and
particular.
season 2?
Yeah.
Don't remember. I remember the first one because we played those anime quizzes on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this opening.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Kids on a Slope. Yeah, that's just one that I really
Oh
like.
yeah, you're nice. I remember that.
Have you seen that?
Which one?
Kids on a Slope.
It's
Mm-mm.
about
Watch
a kid
it,
on the
it's
slope.
jazz.
Oh,
You
okay.
should tell your
Dude,
brother to
you'll
watch
like
it.
I'll watch the OP.
Well, I mean, the
If
jazz.
it's a-
No, the OP isn't really jazz. It's just like
It's
it's
actually
pretty.
like hard rock.
It's pretty and it's
okay.
beautiful, but it's not jazz. You should watch the show though because it's.
Is this
jazz.
the one where like they're jazz musicians?
Yes.
And they like okay,
They
Yes.
like jazz. Tell your brother to watch it.
good. I will.
Me. We'll have a family watch. Me, you, and your brother.
And we'll also band together.
Yeah, we'll invite the sister as well.
Can you play drums, Milesh?
Yeah.
He's
You're-
like, I do now.
Yuri and Ice opening.
Oh no, hold on. March comes in like the lion.
Yeah, those openings are good.
All of them are so good, but I think the third one I like the most. It's like the best put together, I think. So yeah,
I
check
agree.
that out. It's beautiful.
I think I agree.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Marco's Lion is very beautiful.
The whole show, yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, Yuri and Ice, yeah, that
You're born to
definitely.
make history.
Yes. Okay, like every fall, I'm just like I sing this around my house at the top of my lungs. I'm just like so.
That opening's all in English, right?
It gives me and
Yeah.
it just gets me so hyped for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's English that helps.
The way it starts out too, like na 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 na.
Oh my gosh, that yeah, the feels, all the feels,
Alright,
they
girl.
just come back every time I hear it. It's great, great soundtrack for that show. Yeah, Naruto opening, my favorite's 5. So
Yeah, we all disagree with that.
yeah, because you're losers.
Bro,
It's just called being right.
it's called Fighting Dreamers. We're the
Wrong.
right side of history.
So Psychopaths, the second opening.
Yeah, bro.
'Cause I
don't
feel
even remember
I
it.
could always
I love
show
Psychopaths,
my
bro.
everything to
Alright,
you.
okay, you can
It's
stop.
so good.
You can stop now.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
how do
it's
you
good.
not remember
It's
that?
good, Milesh.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
yes.
Yeah, the first one's good too.
I'm sure it's good. It's like, yeah.
But like the second one is better. And then like I got a new one up here. The Banana Fish opening, like they just changed openings because we're like halfway through its run.
Oh, it's like a week ago.
It's a it's
Ooh.
it's a 24 episode long one. Which, by the way, like people need to watch this because it's really good. It's like one of the best things I've seen in a while. Yeah, the second opening is like amazing. It's all in English. The English is really bad though, but the song is good and it looks really amazing. And I'm gonna throw in even better. The ending song is like incredible. That's like so beautiful.
What's
and the
it like?
song is actually in English too, but the English is good.
Also born to make history.
No, I don't know. You have to see it. Like,
Okay.
I want to show you guys because it's awesome. All right, and then Natsume's Book of Friends opening 2 by Long Shot Party. So
That
good.
opening. Can't confirm. Excellent.
Yes,
Um,
super excellent.
Most excellent.
our friend
It's
Anthony,
superior.
our producer Anthony mentioned Big O opening, so I mentioned it.
Big O.
Yeah, it's like a mech show.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
a really good next show.
Yeah.
It looks like a Batman cartoon.
That's a really good opening though. It's like it sounds like Queen.
Yeah.
Sounds like Bohemian Rhapsody, but then it
Oh.
also sounds like the Flash Gordon thing.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Anime openings.
Big
pretty good, right?
They're pretty good. How come nobody talks about endings though? Why haven't you guys watched the end of the episode?
Samurai Champloo
Has definitely one of the
That's
best.
like the best. Kekai Sensen ending. People talk about that all the time.
That one's
Iconic. That one's literally iconic.
it is iconic, but it's like I don't think it's the best ending ever.
I
But
think,
yeah, it's iconic.
I
Yeah,
think it's because endings generally are kind of like,
people are like
endings.
next episode.
Yeah, you're too excited.
yeah.
It's-
I mean-
it's-
Yeah, you have to be like
Hey man, we talk about freaking you.
because
well, that's
it's
because
JoJo.
like
That's an actual song.
that's also because like with endings they're more like not as remembered because if it's a new show and people are watching it like at the time it comes out, then yeah, you're gonna pay attention to the EDs.
I,
But
well,
but when
You
you are
know-
binging stuff going through, you're not gonna really
in
like,
half the time, they endings aren't as interesting.
yeah.
Like a lot of them are like a
It's not
boring
like-
song, or they're like a boring pan of images or something like
Yeah,
that.
for the most part.
Yeah,
yeah. So I
but
think
there are some really good ones
but
out
like
there.
in recent years, they've been doing better, making the EDs like just
They
as
are
good,
so
if not better than the OPs sometimes.
Yeah, I'm always like I'm like low key always on the hunt for good music throughout my whole life. I
I mean,
guess.
high key.
No, it's like low. I don't. Okay, fine, high key.
The low key.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll watch through like all openings and watch through all endings one time.
All right,
And,
here we
like
go.
if I like it, then I'll keep watching it, and if I don't, I won't ever look at it ever again.
Yeah, I also think because we're all like shonen boys, so like shonens have like too many endings, and it's hard to keep track. There's like 50...
I watched all of the Naruto endings.
All right, well,
All
At least
40
once.
of them.
Yeah, at least once.
Jesus, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
it is not if you're like watching
Bro,
the show
bro,
and
bro,
you
bro,
just
bro,
as
bro.
you're watching it.
You said 40 endings.
Yes,
That's literally a
and
shit ton.
as you're watching
Like,
watching
not-
the show, all you have to
We're doing
do
this now.
all you have to
This
do is
shit.
stop 1.5 minutes of your life to catch that one ending change that one time
Correct.
at the end of the episode, and that's
relax.
it.
Just relax.
Like,
Just,
no, you need to relax.
you relax. You said 40 endings aren't too much. Like, bro.
It's not. If you watch
One Piece has 20
if you-
openings and it's been airing for 19 years.
If you watch it, all at once, yes, it's too much. Okay.
That's what you just said you did.
No, I didn't watch it all.
Speaking of shonen,
I'm saying I've
OPs
seen
and
them all.
endings, Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter endings are good.
Hunting for your dream.
Yeah, because Hunter x Hunter actually, like, the openings are all the same, but the endings are different. So that's why you
Those keep
do,
changing.
that's why you do the
Yeah.
big brain stuff, actually listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Toradora's, the first ending is really catchy and cute. I like that a lot. I actually used to be like a weird hipster, and I actually thought the Attack on Titan, the first season ending was better than the opening. But then I was like, wait a
That's
minute.
weird.
I forgot how the ending went again.
It's very sad.
Oh.
Yeah, all of them are.
It's like
I
Mikasa,
can't
like,
even-
in this cornfield.
I can't even remember how it sounds. I just remember it being sad.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but yeah,
How about the Terror and Resonance ending? That was pretty epic.
I'm sure it was.
It's like not. I don't know. It was like.
I
It's
remember-
not something you want to casually listen to, but it's like still epic. when you
The
listen
Terran
to it.
Resonance soundtrack is dink, because it's
It
all
is.
Icelandic, baby.
Yeah, that one song that played while he was riding a motorcycle with Lisa.
Let me try to think of endings
That's
that I
great.
like beyond that. Can't think of any.
I have some, but I can't think of them.
Yeah,
There's some good Naruto ending gems that you guys are missing out on, though.
I'm sure I am. I still do not
Like,
care.
because I know what like the good ones are, and which is not like 40. It's like half that
Is it
number.
not 40?
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or just an opinion that only I have, but like the
same
Japanese
thing.
the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh OPs. Don't know how many people listen to those,
They
but
pretty lit.
pretty crisp.
I remember, because I watched the last season of GX, which is only in Japanese. That was
You
my
watched
first.
that OP for it.
And I was like, shit, this is pretty dank.
Yeah,
Yeah, because, like, Get Your Game On, pretty catchy.
it's pretty good. But you know what's even better? Okay, that's a stretch. No, it's hard to beat Get Your Game On. Never mind.
It's time to play your cards right, Matt.
Yeah. Just
Chilling
chilling
with
out
the
with your
crew.
just chilling out with your crew at the school.
Schoolyard.
Yeah, trouble's never too hard.
Back at class that never taught us this.
Something you gotta learn with this.
The tough times, the hard
times.
times.
Come on, let's take them on together.
No.
But as we were talking about endings, how about we end this podcast?
Yeah, you know, just cut it here.
That's
Yeah.
a nice segue.
Actually, let me see what we're actually talking about next week. Or next time we record this podcast.
Next time on the Mimicast.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Will Matthew be on again? Probably not.
Next time on Dragon Ball
Oh
Z.
yeah, if it's like March comes in like a lion or something, no.
Only us will be on that one.
Yeah, it'll be us too.
The hipsters.
We have good taste.
Yes, the exquisite taste.
You gotta
Oh,
narrow
it is March comes
It
in.
is that one.
You gotta narrow
I can't
this
wait.
out.
So we're actually talking March comes in like a lion. Only me and Mia will be on that podcast because we're the only intellectuals of our group.
Exactly.
So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm probably gonna cry,
Might.
but
I
yeah.
might.
So see you guys.
Second season for now. All right. Yeah, that was us. Bye.